Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe right here to get the latest from the show and check out more of the best clips from Up and Adams, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FanDuel. I'm here with Vice Chair and owner of the Indianapolis Colts, coming to a playoff near you, Kalen Jackson. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you again. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for welcoming me. It's sort of quiet around here, so it's a perfect time to get like a really good introspection and really good moments with the players. I talked to Anthony Richardson. I talked to Coach Shane Steichen. I met them both for the first time. Somehow I've never met them.
Oh, that was your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you got to. Well, they all said they had so much fun.
Good. They're very humble. Very humble group.
Well, and I think that is, you try to look for a certain type of player. And I think same with coaching. It's like you kind of have that same feeling. And so it's nice to hear that that's how you feel, because I think that's what we try to create around here.
Jonathan Taylor, to everyone, even to Forrest Buckner, who I expect to be a maniac, was just like, it's familial. They have their goals. They're dialed in, and it's
Gentle
awesome.
Giant.
Yes. I love it. Gentle Giant who wants a Super Bowl ring, and we might get it for him here. I know Kicking the Stigma is so near and dear to your heart, head to toe. Let's start with the shoes.
Yes. So these are one of the My Cosmic cleats, one of the years that me and my sister and my dad all did our own versions, and they're very loud, but that's the good thing. It's like trying to bring attention in any way we can to mental health awareness, and this week is super exciting. It'll be our second year. We're kind of doing a Kicking the Stigma week at camp, so we do a lot. Yes, here's the shirt, and we're so blessed to be able to work with another teams. Last year was the first year we were able to partner with the Bears, and it's our initiative, but we take shirts and we put, and this year's the Cardinals.
That's
we put
awesome.
their logo on it as well. So this is on ours as well, with Kicking Stigma on the back. You did the back and the front, but I love it because it's showing Kicking the Stigma. So yeah, mental health is health.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah. So it's just nice, I think, for us to, it's something that we are so passionate about and believe in so much, and has been able to make such an impact in such a short amount of time to date. I mean, I think since we last talked, the numbers keep going up in such a positive way. We're at 31+ million committed in under 4 years. So a lot of that is family donations, and then also mixed, obviously, with fundraising. But for us, whenever we do this stuff, it's not for us about, trying to get a ton of money from people. I think for us, it's really, truly the element of making this okay to talk about, making this something that is accepted more culturally, because as everyone knows, I think it's been very highlighted in the last few years in a lot of different ways, especially in sports. But I think it's great. I mean, I think it's really showcasing something that's been there all along. It's just now people are kind of coming around to the idea that it's okay to talk about it out loud. So I think for us, these weeks are really to showcase to the players. Like, training camp's about a lot of things, prepping your body, prepping playbook, plays, etc. But then really talking about prepping your mind and what we need to do to help you do that. So this week's super exciting. It's our second year of doing it, but this year we're bringing in today, Brian Dawkins is going to speak to the team. So I'm going to be you, and I'm going to be interviewing him in front of the team in a little bit here. And I just think having him, one, he's just such a powerful force and has such a powerful story and message. But having been them, and being able to talk about the stressors that are very similar to what many of them in that room will be going through right now, I think it'll really hit home in a really beautiful way. So we're excited to have him here as well.
Dawkins is such a legend. I love that he's here, and a legend not just in globally, but like he's such an NFL legend. But he is known as sort of this physical player. Like, it's all about the physicality. What is the message you think he has for these players about how mental health is health?
Well, that's what we're going to find out today. But if anyone hasn't read his book, there's some really powerful moments in it where he talks about his rookie year, especially being extremely difficult for him. And I rewatched his Hall of Fame speech actually last night, and it's so powerful. I mean, him admitting the fact that he just got so many elements of his life. It wasn't just football. It was so, because it's not just. And he kind of really talks about how football is what made him, but it doesn't define him, and really processing that part and how he was able to work on his mental state. It enabled him to be the player that he was able to become. And he really credits it to so many people that told him, this is not something that's going to go away on your own. You have to go get help. And he even talked about that he was suicidal to the point of planning it. And I think even just him saying that, being such a strong, masculine man, really kind of redefines what masculinity is. You don't have to not have emotion to be masculine. And I think that's why this initiative is connected with so many people, and why I think we've seen such a positive impact on our players. And I think just the fact that they know that that's accepted here is a big deal. And I think we've seen a shift even in the way that personnel even view things that come up, and realizing that they can, help a player through it, and not that it's something that we can't get past.
I want to know more about that, because the truth is, and kicking the stigma is your goal, and the money provides resources for that to people, all sorts of communities here in India and elsewhere. It's okay to be not okay, to not be okay, right? It's okay to not be okay. 10 years ago, the truth is that this was not talked about. In my world, my circles, certainly not on an NFL field. The fact that Brian Dawkins the fact that you're teaming up with another team in joint practices to bring awareness to this, to try to kick the stigma. The shift, it's not where we want it to be. I guess I'm asking, what have you seen in your own players who are super involved with this? And then that they see it's okay. What have you noticed around your players in this sort of evolution of it?
Yeah, well, I think even the conversations I have with them and stuff that they share with me, I think the biggest thing, whether it's with players or even externally or even on the business side with our employees, that I've seen is that initiatives like this and conversations like this give people the permission. I mean, it's really truly opening a door, and it sounds like such a simple, easy thing, but it's really not.
No.
And I think that we try to start with our own story and being vulnerable there, and showing that, we did share it and we're still here. Like, nothing happened. It's like, I think it's like that fear of, well, what if I do say it and someone thinks of me differently? And I think ripping off that Band-Aid, it can be really hard. Or my dad always says it's like that 1,000-pound phone. It's hard to pick up the phone and when you're struggling. So I think I've seen just one, the way that they talk with me and their coaches and everything about it, but also the way that they want to be involved in what we're doing with this initiative. Everyone wants to always help whenever we're doing a PSA or anything like that. And that's another thing that we're doing this week. And we did something similar with a different organization last year. We're doing a joint service project this week with both teams too. So this year it's going to be with the Milk Bank in Indiana. So doing bereavement kits.
Very cool. Wow.
So it'll be
gosh.
and they'll also
both
be writing.
Teams.
Yeah, both teams will be doing it together, which I think is really cool too. I mean, I think a lot of the beauty of sport is the competition part, but it's also the element of coming together and collectively what we can do when there's more of us. And I think this is a perfect example of that.
You are so busy with this. You are so passionate about it. You're also going to be providing the keynote at this year's Indiana Women's Summit on Thursday.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to there?
I'm
you are on the microphone all week, Kalen Jackson.
I know. Well, I think for me, it's the biggest compliment when people say I can feel how passionate you are about it, because I really am. And I think that's, again, why this has been really impactful, is that it's genuine. Our family has lived experience. And I think that when it comes from that that we truly care about this and care about the people that are listening to the message. And I think I'm just excited. Again, anytime I go speak somewhere, I always tell people, because you may not be able to give, $10,000, and that's okay. One of the biggest things is, taking what you hear even today, like what you hear today and what we're talking about, is taking it and sharing it with others, or asking a family member that you might be questioning if they're doing okay. It's okay to ask that question, and you don't know, that might be the one thing that they're waiting for. So our theme this year is let's talk about it.
Okay.
And really trying to encourage conversations in any element of what we're doing around kicking the stigma.
I think the reason it's so impactful is your passion, which just really is palpable to anybody that you talk to about it. But also the fact that, when I look at any organization, it's the top to bottom effect. All of them are. And the fact that you and your family have been so open and vulnerable in letting people in, that's the huge part. That is what makes it easy for a player, a quarterback, a front office, a whatever to get on board. And I thank you for that, because not everybody does it. It's something that everybody deals with, whether it's a small level or on a larger scale. But the openness of your family is a truly deeply beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you. I think it's like, I always laugh. It's kind of like my little version of thinking of it is how Eminem used to talk about he'd put stuff in his raps that were like negative about himself so that no one could say it about them.
Right.
It's kind of like when you own your story like that, like no one's perfect and everyone has issues of some kind, like some shape or form. And I think there's something beautiful. And I think the older I get, the more I feel the acceptance of your own problems and things that you go through and how they make you who who you are, and they make you the positive parts of you. And so I think that's also such a, what makes me so passionate about it is allowing people to feel comfortable in their own skin and move through life like we only have one. And so I think we're just happy to be a small part of it. I mean, we always say we're not the experts by any means. But, for example, the state of Indiana, the new rankings came out. Forever we've been bottom in resources, number of suicide, depressions, all those things. And we've been in the 40s. And we just jumped in the last year to 24. So, those are based on 2022 numbers. So that, I mean, we like to think we had a small part, and we were in the 40s for years upon years upon years. And the fact that right after we kind of started that campaign,
it's a safe assumption, Kalen. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's also been a buy-in from the state for sure, and we're very involved in talking with them and stuff. But it makes us proud to know that hopefully we were a part of that in some way, and that we're making true change with the dollars that are being donated, and that the teams that are collectively working on this with us together, we hope they go back to their cities, and that their fans are inspired to ask the same questions.
It's such a young thing that you're doing. Like, you did the Bears last year, now Arizona Cardinals, but just 4 years to have that much of an impact, and it is because of that. And just it takes money to get resources and to get the message out. It just does. And so for that to be so huge on such a huge scale over just 4 years is badass. It's freaking awesome.
Oh, well, thanks. And I appreciate the support as
always.
Yeah,
anytime. And then you mentioned your dad. Did I hear he was out at practice lately?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
He was at practice, and then the Hall of Fame was so fun with Dwight.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Michael Jordan, Kalen, what?
Oh my gosh. It was such I will say, I'm very, very blessed to get to meet a lot of people, and that was very much probably one of my only fangirl moments of oh my gosh, just the aura of it all.
Reggie Miller somewhere shaking his head, not happy with you saying that.
I love
but
Reggie.
I mean, it's Michael Jordan. I'd be terrified to meet him.
It was incredible. And so he was so kind, and
well, how was your dad in that?
So great.
Yeah.
So he got to meet him at the ceremony. But for my dad, those moments truly, more than people ever will be able to understand, means so much to him. I mean, to be able to be asked by 3 players now to be inducted doesn't happen. And so he really truly takes that to heart, and it means more than anything to him. And so for him to be able to be there, it was so special. And to see all the guys back together. It's like a big reunion, getting to see Peyton and Marvin and everybody.
Oh my God, take me
it was
into
so
that.
Fun.
That's crazy.
Well, you know what? Who we hadn't seen in forever was Bob Sanders was there. We hadn't seen him forever. And so any Colts fans who are watching, he's great. He looks like he could play. I was like, look like you could get out there right now. But yeah, so it's always fun to see them. And I was much younger then, when they were playing. But it's funny to, kind of be where I'm at now, and I think for them to see me too.
Yeah.
And it was such a great night for Dwight. We're so proud of him.
He's the best.
He's the best.
I have him on my show all the time. He's unbelievable.
He's so fun.
He's so fun. He's so great. He nobody lives a better life than him.
I know.
And I don't think the Hall of Fame jackets are ending anytime soon. I think you've got, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor. They have a mission, Kalen.
We got to get going. I think that's the hardest part, honestly, of the year is the off season. Just watch the clock tick by, and just can't wait to be in this moment and have the energy again and have a fresh start. So I'm super, super excited, and I can't wait for the regular season to start.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson told me he has over 60 pairs of Crocs. Does your dad have more or less guitars?
Wait, that's hilarious.
Than that?
Oh,
way more?
Way more.
How many times?
Way more. Actually, don't know.
Stupid
the
question.
You
don't?
No.
I gotta get
because
that
it keeps
number.
building.
It's like jelly beans, and it really changes that often.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. That's so cool.
You would love so many of the elements that he has in his collection. There's so many.
He has
really,
the Beatles
really cool
drum
things.
head or something,
Well,
right?
I'm a huge Beatles fan. I took a Beatles class at IU when I went there. Literally full semester of Beatles. It was the best thing
Didn't
ever.
he have a Beatles
he has
drum
a couple
kit?
Beatles guitars. He has the drum head from the Ed Sullivan Show,
Like
and then
what?
he has John Lennon's piano, which I think is one of the coolest.
He has
things.
John Lennon's piano.
Yes. And when I came over, when he got it, and he's like, "Play it," and I was like, "I don't think I should."
Did you play it?
Touch it.
What do you play on John Lennon?
No,
John
I can't
Lennon's
play piano, so I was just barely touching it. I was like, I don't want to break anything.
Yeah, white glove treatment, the whole thing.
But yeah, he My dad is very eclectic collection, and he's a very eclectic person. And
it's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
And we love him and everything he's doing, that your family's doing, kicking the stigma, guys. It is going on. You are very busy. Thank you for taking the time.
No, thank you.
Anything we can ever do. I need all of your jewelry. I need these shoes. My Cause, My Cleats kills it with this. All for awareness that, it's okay to not be okay. And mental health is absolutely health. We are kicking the stigma 24/7 all year round. Thank you, Kalen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're awesome.